Thank you, Terri, for joining us. You know, your role with PlayBuilders of Hawaii is so important. Maybe share with us, please, what you do there as Executive Director, and what is PlayBuilders?
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor, and I am truly
and a joy to be together again.
Yeah. PlayBuilders' mission is to gather and share real stories that resonate with, empower, and connect the many culturally rich and diverse communities here in Hawaii. We have worked in communities that are geographic, such as Waipahu, Wahiawa, and Chinatown. And we have also worked with special interest groups, such as Hawaii's homeless, LGBTQ communities, foster care, and we're still working right now with domestic violence, and currently working with Hawaiian Mission Houses and the Pa'i Foundation play turned film, which is playing right now, called Open Your Hearts Wide by Marian Lyman Mercero. My job as the executive director is for an organization as small as ours. I do everything from community organizing to grant writing to finding the artists that work with community. So I do everything. It is my life, and I love it.
How did PlayBuilders even get started? What was I heard the mission, but what was the impetus for that?
It was a personal journey for me. I hit 50. My children had grown up, and I just thought, like, what are my gifts? You know, what is it that I have to offer? And the thing that I knew the most is theater. But I've done a lot of community theater, and I thought that's just not quite enough. I want to do more. And I thought about stories, and I wanted to go to back to school to study social work. And so I was learning these new skills, and it just hit me that theater has the properties, if used in a different way, to help entire communities. And so instead of getting my master's in social work, I decided to get my MFA in theater. And I worked with wonderful people like Dennis Carroll, Marcus Wessendorf, Elizabeth Wickman-Walzak. And after I got my MFA, went to California and studied with what was then a 25-year-old company called Cornerstone, and I got trained there. And I came back, and I brought the discipline here.
So really what I hear you saying is that stories matter. Your story and you're looking at your life was a catalyst for what your organization is doing now. What are you finding when people discover their own story?
I think, especially when we're talking with people who've been through a lot in their lives, and sometimes there is shame associated with trauma, even if whatever happened wasn't your fault. It's like you don't want to share with people. It's something you keep inside. But there are a few brave souls that do come in and they do share their stories. I've asked them, why are you here? Why are you sharing this? And they tell me because they want it to help save someone's life.
So it's very near and dear to your heart that we are here on the Leeward side. How does the West Side relate to PlayBuilders?
Our first fully community collaborative play was in Wahiawa. We did it at Dot's Restaurant, and we called it Wahiawa Remember When. While I was there, I learned that Wahiawa is the piko of the island, and it's where everything of importance should begin. So I felt very blessed and lucky that that's where we began. And we met so many wonderful people who continued the journey with us and became part of us, of our organization. We became artists in residence here at the Leeward Community College. The first one was called Yes, I Am, and it was with the LGBT community here at Leeward. And that was so much fun and so great and so meaningful. And then we did the Waipahu project, which was amazing. We went to Waipahu, collected those stories, brought them here. We made many friends, and some of those people are on our board of directors, and yeah,
And isn't
forever
that part
friends.
of what theater is about?
Right.
Telling stories, making friends. As we conclude our conversation for today, what is a message that you can give to the audience?
The message I would like to give is listen.
Listen to each other. Listen to our land. Listen to ourselves. And I'm going to add to that. Maybe part of the message too is have the courage to speak it.
Absolutely. And they're all heroes that have shared their stories with PlayBuilders.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for the work that you do and the love you have for this side of the island, obviously, and for the generosity of your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've just had the opportunity to meet Terri Madden, who is the Executive Director of PlayBuilders of Hawaii. Mahalo for joining us.